BossCowboySports. Yep, gotta bring you
another one.
All right, so Ezekiel Elliott not traveling to Atlanta. What does it mean now and in the future? So I gotta get into it and talk about it, because it obviously, to be honest, it's gonna make our running back room worse. It's gonna make our running back room worse. Regardless of what anybody try to lie to you and sell you, your running back room is not better, minus Zeke. Now, it's gonna probably have less drama, less debate, but it's not better. And it's not better mostly because you actually increase your risk, right? Now you have two running backs left on the roster with major injury histories. So if we go talk about this honest and with some intelligence, one thing this means is likely the Dallas Cowboys need to go start looking at that trade market before the trade deadline, because minus Zeke, you gonna need insurance. So we gonna talk about some of this before the game kick off. What does this mean for the season? What does this mean for Atlanta? So y'all sit back. Let me do some things on the back end. I'll be right back. At BetUS, you can receive 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Make sure you use that promo code YouTube150. Be right back.
You want answers?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Welcome, everybody, man. We got that watch party coming up. All right. So let's get right into the nitty gritty. So now we starting to get the scoop. Ezekiel Elliott is a healthy scratch today. This is coming out today from James Slater. The first of his career. according to a number of sources, Elliott has been distracted this season. Aside from habitual tardiness, he's missed 3 team meetings, with Friday meeting the final straw. Both parties decided it was best. So I asked the question, what does it mean now and in the future? All right. What this clearly means to me is Zeke is trying to get up out of Dallas. Because see, those of us who play ball know that meetings are sacred. That's one thing you never miss, is those team meetings. I don't care where you are, who you are. You don't miss those. If you miss those, you trying to get in trouble. So my first thing that I say about this whole Zeke situation is Zeke is doing this on purpose. And if he likely doing this on purpose, like I believe he is, and pretty much know that he is, likely he being this aggressive because he trying to get to another team. Because in normal situations, you wouldn't want to go out like this because it could stain your name. It can make you look bad around the league. So, and then the key part that you got to look for is the fact that they said mutual. So it's one thing for the team to tell you, we don't want you to go to Atlanta. It's another thing for the player to say, I don't want to go. Oh man. So somebody needed to do it too. Somebody needed to. Oh, hold on real quick. What you mean? I'm gonna say not true. Hold on, what you mean? What's not true, Willie? He said, boss, not true. They cap like they did about Rico illness. What's not true? Now, oh, I'm on Landlord channel. Hold on, let me make sure I turn off my boy Landlord channel. I ain't mean to go live on my boy Landlord channel. Y'all give me 1 second to turn it off. All right, but while I'm turning Landlord off, I do want to say this. Your running back room is not better. And it's a lot of hypocrisy going on right now. It's a lot of hypocrisy. Because it's a lot of people like, man, let's just cut Zeke, right? We might as well give Cook a chance. Never made sense on no level. On no level. So, it's one of them things where we getting ready likely to go forward without Zeke. It looked like they preparing to move on. But also, if you look at this closely, I do see there are some divide in this. Think about it. There are some divide in this. So one of the things I want y'all to think about it. If somebody has been missing team meetings and missed the last team meeting on Friday and you ain't cut them, what does that mean? Let's just use our common sense. What does that mean? What that means is somebody in the building in a high place don't want them gone. Somebody in a high place don't want them gone. Because if you missing team meetings, right, which he likely doing on purpose, I promise you that. and you ain't cut him, somebody still believe that he's an asset. And somebody say shopping. Well, if you shopping him, and let's go with your theory, Life. If you shopping him, this is the problem with the shopping him theory. If you shopping him, what you go get for him by telling everybody that you have to discipline him? You're not gonna get enough for him because you basically turn up his name on the way out. So I don't think the shopping. I don't think the shopping at all. So, but this ain't gonna even be a long pregame video. I'm gonna just kind of get into it. But the bottom line is now we have to get insurance. We have to get insurance. See, because a lot of people now, y'all faith getting ready to get tested. I've been telling everybody, you don't want to trust Rico as the lead back. Not because of his skill, because I do believe he has talent. You don't want to trust him as the lead back because he has never been healthy through a whole season since high school. That's like trusting Tyron Smith to stay healthy while giving him more reps. Common sense is telling you what's likely getting ready to happen. Now, we've seen miracles before, because it was a miracle for Malik Hooker not to be re-injured. He had a 99% chance of re-injury according to Injury Predictor. And so he just, ever since he came to the Dallas Cowboys, he never was re-injured. But I don't think that's going to be the case with Rico because his injury history is way too long. So the first thing they need to do, in my opinion, is in the short term, because now Rico is your best back, you got to ramp him up. And if the wheels fall off, you better be getting some insurance because likely those wheels go fall off at some point. If y'all, cause see, this is the whole thing that was fake about that debate about Zeke and Rico. Nobody ever talked about his injury history. They only talked about Rico like he was just fresh out the box with low tread, you know, and it's not true. And then the worst part is, and just being straight up, is Cook was never, ever better than Zeke in 2024. So let me show y'all some of the hypocrisy just real quick in some of the cases that was being made. All right, so you'll hear people tell you quick. They'll do stat analysis. They'll say, Zeke is washed because in New England, this is what they'll tell you. In New England, he only averaged, let me get to it. Hold on real quick. Flying this plane a little sloppy. He only averaged 3.5. Boss, he's washed, right? But then in the same breath, in the same hypocrisy breath, they'll say, so we might as well give Cook a chance. It's like, wait, you can't make the case that Zeke is washed based on just an average, but then co-sign and lobby for a guy who had worse production and a worst average in 2023. Yeah. But the fans did it. The radio station did it. Oh yeah, I will hear it all the time. Hey, Steven, Jerry, when are you guys gonna give Cook a chance? And be saying at the same time, Zeke washed. Boy, I used to be like, boy, let me tell you something about this world that I figured out in 2024. This is what I figured out. Facts and proof are not believed. Liars are. People that lie and they lie well, they'll believe more than people that'll actually take the time and show you the facts and evidence. People that look at facts and evidence like, yeah. So, and then you can look at the stats and say, we worse if Zeke leave, which he likely go leave. But then worse, you could turn on the film. So if you turn on the film and you start looking at these balls side by side, right? I already did this already. We gonna do this one more time. So we go look at Zeke from San Fran, right? And so you look at Zeke from San Fran and we go side by side. And you can see Zeke obviously had a much better game than Cook. It was like very obvious, very common sense, very easy to see. Okay. So Zeke going into the fourth quarter was averaging 5 yards a carry. All right. Zeke was averaging 5 yards a carry going into the fourth quarter. So a lot of people that was like, he washed. Really, if they was really doing their football job, they really would have been saying, if a running back is averaging 5 yards a carry, why did he have so few touches? Why? So, because it don't make sense. Hold on, let me show you real quick. Let me show you something real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up. All right. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. All right. Okay, here it is. Try to make it bigger so you can see it. Y'all give me 1 second. Here we go. Get it to where y'all can see it. Hopefully, let me make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, but see, I ain't gonna do y'all like that, man. I'm gonna give y'all the facts. I ain't gonna give y'all, cause I've seen people, and it trips me out. They take pride in saying, and I'm not gonna show you. They'll tell you quick. They'll be like, yep, Zeke is washed, and I'm not gonna show you the proof. You be like, you motherfucker. Wow, you so privileged. You get a chance to just lie, and you ain't even gotta show your work. Now me, I'm showing you the film, and I'm gonna show you more film. But check this out. This is San Fran, right? So in the first quarter, they was averaging 4. Okay, this is the Dallas Cowboys. Zeke was averaging 5 or 6. Dalvin Cook was averaging 2. So the person who brought the average down was actually Dalvin Cook. In the second, they was averaging 3, right? So hold on, let's just use our common sense. Cause see, we got the receipts over here. Y'all give me 1 second, I gotta show y'all something real quick. So my boy Amp put this out. All right, let me make it bigger. All right, nah, this gonna be better if I do it this way. All right, so if I look at the production, let me go back. That's even better. All right, check this out. So Dak Prescott, when throwing, now this is key. Now we trying common sense. This was in the fourth quarter with 11:57 minutes on the clock. The Dallas Cowboys receivers was averaging 5 yards per attempt from Dak's throws. Zeke was averaging 5 by himself with 12 minutes in the fourth. So that means for a majority of the game, the person with the clearer, higher average was Zeke. Cook at that time was 2.0. So let me ask you a question, and we go back to the overall production again. Now, let's use our common sense. So if you now see Zeke was averaging 5, but in the first quarter, you saw an average of 4. In the second quarter, you saw an average of 3. In the third quarter, you saw an average of 5 from the running game. Who was the person that was carrying that average? Since a lot of people like to do stat analysis, who was the person that was really carrying the average? But then use your common sense and think about, what did they do in the third quarter? Did they go with the hot hand? Who was the hot hand? Who was the hot hand? It was clearly Zeke. What did they do in the third? Cook. So, yeah. And see, and I'm gonna tell you something. You cannot trust this people that do this lazy stat analysis. You can't trust them. So I'm gonna tell you why you can't trust them. Because see, what they ain't figured out is that you cannot and should not evaluate talent from just stats. It's too many blind spots in stats. It's just too many. If you just looking at stats only, you got to look at how that person was used. You got to look at the blocking. You got to look at how many stacks boxes it was. You got to actually look at it. But see, now people have become accustomed to being lazy. So because they lazy, they'll just take a real lazy shortcut. Like for instance, Kareem Hunt. Last year, Kareem Hunt was averaging 3 yards per carry. According to the stat nerds, that's indication he's older, he's done, he's washed. That's what everybody would say in Dallas. That's what a lot of people would say in Dallas. He's washed. Don't even consider giving him 20 touches. Don't do it. If they was being consistent on what they thought with Zeke, they would say don't even do it. As long as you don't make him carry the ball 15 to 20 times, I'm good. Okay. Well, let's go look at what they actually did. Wow. Look at Kareem Hunt. Wow. If the stat nerds would have got their way. Wow. Look at this. They doing the total opposite of what Cowboy Nerd Nation say you supposed to do. They say when you older, you supposed to get a few carries. We never supposed to feed you 14 to 20 carries. Oh no. Even after Kareem Hunt was only averaging 3 last year, what did they do? What's the difference? His first game back, 14 carries. He averaged 4.9. Then they gave the old back 27 carries where he averaged 3.8. Then they gave the old back 22 carries where he averaged 3.5. Then in Las Vegas, he finally got bottled up some, but they still committed to it by giving him 21 carries where he averaged 2.8. Before the Vegas game, Kareem Hunt was averaging about 4.2, 4.3 after he averaged only 3 yards a carry last year. But the stat nerds would have looked at that bumper sticker yards per carry average and would have said, he's done. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Perfect. And see, that's why, listen, my channel ain't for everybody. My channel is for thinkers. Everybody not thinkers. Everybody not go really be honest. It's a lot of people, they go just give you some clickbait shit. They not go really prove their case. They not go really show where there's contradictions in these narratives that these stat nerds like to put out there. They literally look at an average and say, Zeke, they'll say, he only had 10 carries for 3.5. But they will ignore the fact for a majority of the game, Zeke was averaging over 5 on the ground. Yeah. That's the problem when you a bumper sticker stat nerd. When you lazy and you just look at one number and to determine. And see, let me tell you, a lot of these stat nerds, they would have missed out on Amari Cooper. They would have, when we got Amari Cooper, his production was horrible with the Raiders. So if you was trying to evaluate the talent of the young Amari Cooper and you looked at stats, you would have missed him.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. You want answers?
So let me go back to this film real quick, because I told you I was going to show you this film. You know, because listen, it's nobody yet to this day that has showed or proved what Stacey Elliott said he wanted to see. He did not ask for film proof that Zeke is not what he used to be. He didn't ask for that. What he asked for is for all of y'all who stick y'all chest out and say he washed. He said, I will give you $10,000 if you can show me film of washed. And nobody took him up on it. We might have one. He stopped responding. But he might be just busy. Yeah. But ain't nobody took him up on it. The only person that's actually showing the film that he not watched is me and the OC. Everybody else, they doing a lot of talking. They ain't showing shit. So looking at Zeke, just kind of letting the run plays play, right? You know, it's just impossible to watch him versus Cook and then come away and say, yeah, Zeke needs to go. But see, that's what a lot of Cowboy fans been clamoring for. That's what let me know that a lot of our Cowboy fans are being very hypocritical about this. Where that's what killed me, is they'll look at this type of run right here, which you ain't gonna probably ever get out of Cook. You probably ain't gonna ever get no run like this now, where you see him take a big hit, bounce off of it, and get you another 5 yards and get up and shake his head. Yeah. You ain't gonna see it. So, and I'm just letting the film play. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm not doing a low light and a highlight. I'm just letting it go. And there's no way you can look at this and then justify why he only has 7 carries. So I can look at Kareem Hunt, who literally got a belly right now, and Kansas City got the common sense to feed him and not go for these stat nerd doctors that's just dominant in Dallas. Stat nerd doctors like, no, you just never feed him because he older. You just don't feed him. Even if he averaging 5 a carry. Oh yeah, don't feed him. No. He's averaging 5, but no, don't do it. He still got the nose for the end zone, but when we get in the end zone, don't feed him. Yeah. Yeah, don't do it. You see him score when he down there. So so I told you I was gonna show the film. Let me show you the film now, Cook. All right. So we just turn on Cook and just let it play. Come on now. Hold on, let's go. So it's impossible, and I mean this, it's impossible to be honest, turn on the film, look at the production, and then unless you are dishonest, it's no way you can turn on the film, look at the stats, look at the production, and then say we should have went with Cook. Cook honestly should still be on the practice squad. But the reason why Cook is not on the practice squad, you don't know why? Because y'all been calling for Cook. Everybody been calling for Cook. We need to go and give Cook a chance. We need to go and give Cook a chance. Now you give Cook a chance and he was averaging 2. Now, let me be fair to Cook too. And all the running backs. Cook, like every one of those running backs, need more touches. Zeke needed more. Rico needed more. and Cook need more. It's hard for any running back to get in rhythm with just 6 touches. I don't care if you Rico, I don't care if you Zeke, I don't care if you Cook. You still need your touches. But the bottom line is this: it is impossible for me to just let this film play and then you come away and say, yeah, Rico, he the better back. Not after you watch Zeke in this game. It's just impossible. So again, it's only one person who's showing they work. Me and the OC. It's only one. Now everybody got a lot of opinions. Like I put it like this. If Stacey Elliott would have challenged me that Zeke was washed and I believed it, I would have did it the next day. And I would have did it like this, not that fake film shit that people be doing where they show 2 plays and say, see? Nah, I would have turned it on and I would have let it play. I would have showed you 10 to 12 plays to make the case per game. See, because what a lot of people want to do, they want to be slick. They want to go pull a couple clips and then start talking. Just super fake. Just super dishonest. Nothing real about that. Nothing real about that. So, so it's no way you can let the film play, because that's all I'm doing is I'm just letting it play. There's no way you can let it play. Look at Cook. Look at his production. Look at Zeke. Look at his production with the same blockers, but then say, yeah, we're better now with Rico and Cook. No, you was better with Rico and Zeke. You was better with Rico and Zeke. So I deal in facts. I don't deal in lies. So I want to dispel some lies that's out there. It's popular, but they lies, right? So let's deal with some of the lies that's out there. Lie 1. The only game to where the running back showed anything was Pittsburgh. The lie detector has determined that is a lie. Hold on, where my button on that? Here it is. Yep.
Oh, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
So, let me show you. The real truth, it was 3 games to where the running backs had production. The first half of Cleveland, the second half of Pittsburgh, and San Fran. So this is the truth. So if I go look, okay. So here we go. This is Cleveland. What do you see in Cleveland? What's going on in Cleveland? Yeah. Which one of those backs in Cleveland had the better average? And look how goofy our play calling is. Remember, this was a game where we had a clear lead too. And what did we do in the second half? We abandoned the run game. And ain't this funny? Look at it. Ain't it funny? You go see a pattern. The least amount of attempts, you always see a lower average. The more attempts, you usually see a better average. Which usually means that the running game works better when you wear on people. But see, a lot of Cowboy Nation, they believe if you give the run game a couple of attempts and it don't work, you should abandon it. But the Cleveland first half was clearly successful. You had 6 rushing attempts of 5.3. And the main person behind that was Zeke, not Rico, who also played that game. So a lot of people have this fake false outrage like, Rico was rolling in pit and they just abandoned him. Politics. It's not honest, y'all. It's not honest. Cause listen, I show my work over here, man. I show my work. So versus the Browns, Zeke was averaging 4 with 10 carries. Most of it was in the first half. Now, it was a whole lot of people. Crying about why did they just stop using Rico after the Pitt game? See, this is how you know it was a false outrage. Hold on real quick. Let me show you why I know it was a false outrage. It's a fake, phony outrage. Fake and phony. Let me show you. See, where was those people and their righteousness? What happened to all that righteousness when they abandoned a successful Zeke? Can somebody help me with that? I see you super chat, big dog. I'm gonna take it. But what happened? See, when Zeke averaged 4 yards, right, still didn't get quality carries, right? And then just a week after, for no reason, they said, we gonna give you only 6. Yeah, the Saints blew us out. That might be reason why. So let's just go with that, right? We'll just say, okay, the Saints was blowing them out. None of the running backs got touches. Let's go with that. But then in the Ravens, you only get 3? Huh? Oh, see, it was a whole bunch of outrage when Rico had a good second half, and it was the only game. It was literally the only game to where any one of the running backs got 20 touches. The only game. See, where was that outrage? See, where was y'all then? Where was the politics? Rico ain't being treated right. Oh, y'all was silent as a motherfucker. Y'all was silent as hell. Yeah, I mean, couldn't hear a peep when they just abandoned what was working versus Cleveland. I couldn't hear a peep out of y'all when they just abandoned versus San Fran what was clearly working. Zeke in the first 3 and a half quarters was averaging more than the receivers. And it was no outrage of why did y'all abandon it? The only people that was saying that was the smart people. Why did y'all go away from it? Why? Why did y'all play Dalvin Cook in the third quarter when he was only averaging 2? When the other back was averaging 5? Oh yeah. So yeah, they lying. It's a whole bunch of lies out here, man. It was more than the Pitt game where you saw rushing success. You saw rushing success again. This is the Browns in the first half. Then you saw it in Pitt. This is Pitt. Let me show you Pitt. This is the Pitt game. And so the Pitt game, it also contradicts the stat nerds. The stat nerds preach, if the run game ain't working, don't try it. So in the first quarter, they had 5 rushing attempts, which is super anemic, right? Only averaged 1.8. And so then it was anemic. Also in the second quarter, it only averaged 2.8. But ain't it funny when they picked up the attempts in the third quarter, what also increased the average? It's something about when you wear on teams and get your offensive line going and your running back to where you can actually, through the physicality and having a physical presence, crack the dam. See, according to stat nerds, this ain't supposed to happen. You ain't supposed to go from averaging 1.8 to averaging 5.1. You supposed to give up on it, according to the stat nerds. Oh, boss, come on now. Boss. You can't run the ball, boss. And so let me tell you what you got to be like real careful of. See, you got to be careful of a lot of people out here that on this Zeke stuff, it's not about what's best for the team. It's a lot of people, they just want to be right. So like this dude, LP Cruz. See, when people start putting words in your mouth, they not having a good faith discussion and they just trying to make you look bad. So like I was making the case clearly here, you know, I said, Zeke, try to get up out of Dallas. This is what I said. Our fans call and watch based on averages, but cover Cook while ignoring averages. Nobody with eyes would say that Cook had a better game than Zeke versus San Fran. Our voice matters on bad ideas too. So he comes in and lies on me and said, let's be fair and give Cook 30 carries to get a rhythm too. Something that I've never said. But see, they make it sound like I was saying Zeke need to get 30 carries to get in rhythm. Because it's not about an honest discussion with a lot of these Zeke haters. They just want to be right. So they go fight for Cook, who's a worse back than Zeke, and hurt their own team. Let's be fair. And then, yeah, this is what I said. And it's thousands of people like that dude. He said, this tweet proves your debate is personal to you. When you lie about my words, it only proves your insecurity and desire for Twitter clap. I'm only interested in serious debates that can improve the team. And I mean that. I mean that. The only way you can really improve the team now is you gotta get some insurance. You have to. Because the main reason I never want Rico as RB1 was never about his talent. It was always about the risk of injury. See, I'm not goofy enough to believe somebody who consistently stayed injured while sharing the load is not gonna get injured having the full load. Am I wishing it on Rico? Absolutely not. But do I have to consider his past as I'm trying to consider what's better? You have to. But see, people will put words in your mouth and they lie. Outright lie. They lie on Zeke. They lie on what you said. Because it's a lot of Cowboy fans, they have dug their heels in against Zeke. And that's all it is. To the point to where they done turned all the way crazy. To where they literally started to lobby for Cook over Zeke. You can't get more dumb. You can't. Because it's completely stupid to say Zeke is washed based on his average last year, but then advocate for Cook, who had a worse average. So I asked the question. I said, what does this mean now and in the future? This is what it means. To me, it means, first of all, somebody don't want Zeke gone. Because if you missing team meetings and you still on this team, somebody in the high place did not want you gone. I think what they getting ready to do, I think Atlanta is the last game. I think they getting ready to watch these backs versus Atlanta, and they gonna make some decisions. Because if Zeke ain't cut after missing a Friday meeting, somebody is looking at it like I'm looking at it. Like, yeah, Zeke, it'd probably be a bad idea to let him go, because who's our insurance for Rico? Who is the power back that's left? Because Dalvin Cook is no longer even close to a power back. He ain't gonna push no piles. You can see that from the film I was showing. The closest person to pushing the pile now is Rico. But if something happened to him, you ain't got nothing but lightning left. You got old lightning with Dalvin Cook, and then you'll have Deuce. That's what you'll be left with. So how, if we talking about what does this mean to the future, that means you have increased your risk to the running back room. Yeah. So for everybody saying just cut him, this ain't a good time to cut him. I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is the worst time to cut him. Oh, just cut him, get him out of here. Shit. What's your insurance? What's your insurance for 2 injury-prone backs? What's your insurance? Saying people ain't gonna have the full discussion. It's only a few places gonna have the full discussion. I'm giving you the full context. I'm giving you all the sugar and water in this Kool-Aid. A lot of people like to talk about Rico like there's no injury history. Nah, you better add in the sugar and the water to your Kool-Aid ass optimism. And a lot of people not doing that. It's fake, phony. It's a whole lot of trying to be right, lying, putting words in people's mouth, putting words in Stacey Elliott's mouth. People been lying on him too. Stacey Elliott, he just like his son. Nah, you ain't listen to the final word. If you'd really listen to the final word, you wouldn't be saying that lie. He clearly said, okay, for all of you who like to stick your chest out and say my son is washed, show me the film, prove that he washed, I'll give you $10,000. Ain't nobody take him up on it. That's so wild to me. That is wild as hell to me. That you can stick your chest out and have that much like boldness, but ain't willing to prove it. And then when they try to prove it, it'll be like 2 clips. Like, bro, if you don't get out of here, bro, nah, you got to do a film breakdown like me. When I showed the film breakdown on Zeke not being washed, I showed 3 games with over 12 to 15 plays apiece. I showed the full context. I didn't leave nothing out. I ain't cherry pick and find his lowest moments. Nah, I let it all play. And I said, you can't say that's washed. You can't. But nobody else doing that to say he washed. So guess what? Y'all now go likely have a running back room that's not as good, and it's because of y'all. It's because y'all, let's give Dalvin Cook a chance. Let's give Dalvin Cook a chance. Zeke washed. Crazy. Real life crazy, bro. Like, it's real life crazy. So hold on, let me get to these super chats real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me get to these super chats. Get these super chats. All right. So Stargazer, she in the building. OG Star. All right, here we go. And then we go ahead and get ready for the watch party. Hold on real quick. Okay, hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, here we go. I got it now. So it say, boss, the same people who hate Zeke and says he's a distraction were the same people begging for Amar. For Amar, who was having the worst year of his career. It's fake outrage bots. It's Zeke fatigue. Yeah, that's all it really is. It's truly Zeke fatigue. Cause see, and I said this, Star, I would have taken the debate serious if it was just Rico versus Zeke. I would have always been like, yeah, this is a good debate. But once it start turning to let's give Cook a chance, I was like, nah, nobody that actually did the work that looked at the film, look at the stats, nobody was like, yeah, let's do that. Like once I start seeing Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Radio, a lot of people lobbying for the dumb idea of Cook and bringing him off the practice squad and replacing Zeke, I said, oh yeah, this is Zeke fatigue. This is no logic. There's literally zero logic. And the same people gonna be like, yeah, it's just best that we move on. No, the fuck, it was not best that we moved on. No. Now you go say that just to say, okay, we tired of talking about it, whatever. But it's not best. It was never best to have Cook over Zeke. No. And it's risky to have Rico as RB1. Do I want to be right on that? Absolutely not. I don't want to be right that he's going to likely get hurt if they ramp up his running back reps to over 15 or 20 carries. Likely before December. I would even say within the next 3 games, Rico likely go get hurt because it always happens. Literally trusting him is like trusting Tyron Smith. And none of y'all would have trusted Tyron Smith for a full season with full-time reps. None of y'all. But then it's this backwards logic like, let's just trust Rico. Oh, you boss, you can't be scared, boss. You can't. It's not scared, it's just logic. It's like, why would you trust somebody who always injured? Like, why? There's no logic in that. Like, no, boss, you just gotta trust that everything is gonna be okay. No, you don't have to trust that. You shouldn't. See, it's amazing that some of the terms we use for years don't apply when you need to apply them. Right? So what have people said for years? The best ability is availability. Now we need you to lean on that ancient logic. Now you're dumb. Like, wait. Now if I said this, the best ability is, and I just stopped, everybody would finish my sentence. The best ability is availability. But then when it's time to use that knowledge, so yeah, good. It's that, to me, that's all it was. And that's what exposed it to me, Star. What exposed it to me was Cook. Rico, that didn't expose it to me. They was able to hide behind Rico. But when they started lobbying for Cook over Zeke, I said, oh yeah, these dudes, this is not intelligence. This is not logic. This is not logic. So we got another super chat from Eddie B. And Eddie B said, Boss Cowboy, love the content. Try telling Cowboy fans on other YouTube channels that D Cook wasn't going to be about anything because here in Minnesota, he was considered washed. You're right. Rico is better than Zeke. I mean, Rico/Zeke is better. Yeah. Anybody with common sense should be like, okay, is the running back room better? No, it's not better. Now, if you want to debate who should be RB1, I would always say, you know what? I'm open to that fight. I think that's a fair fight. Who should be RB1? I have my reasons. You have your reasons. But the debate on Cook versus Zeke, that's when it went into goofy land. Once it went there, I said, okay, it's not serious anymore. Y'all like that dude that was trying to get the clout on me. Gil Zeke. See, that's how you know balls be fake out there when they start putting words in your mouth. Gil Zeke 30 touches per game. I ain't never say that. Like, if I debate you, can I debate what I said? Not what you trying to make me look like I said. You clout chasing. Goofy ass nigga. But it's too many people trying to be right. It's too many people that just, hey, and we saw this before. We saw this with Dez. Dez, Get rid of Dez. And what happened? You ended up with receiver by committee. Y'all got what y'all wanted. It happened again. You got what you wanted, and you ended up with receiver by committee. So let's really define washed, because what's going on is a lot of Cowboy fans obviously don't know the definition of washed. Okay. What they view as washed is if you are not what you used to be when you was at your absolute best. Okay. So when Dez was not what he used to be, but was still an asset, Cowboy fans wanted him gone. Even though he was better than Hearns, even though he was better than Cole Beasley, even though he was better than all the receivers that was here, because he wasn't what he used to be, we wanted him out the door now. And that ended up happening, and we suffered from it. Because Zeke is not what he used to be, y'all exaggerated and called him washed. It's one thing to say he's not what he used to be. It's one thing to use washed. It was dishonest. You hurt your team. And we finna have to live with it if they don't cut Zeke. We finna have to live with the lobby that a lot of y'all wanted. Y'all wanted it. Y'all called for this. This is what y'all wanted. Yeah. I wanted Rico and Zeke. Based on what's in the building. So, we have to get some insurance, y'all. We have to get some insurance. That's just the bottom line. If we don't have no insurance by Tuesday, we are in a very scary situation in the running back room. If we don't have insurance based on the injury history of both the backs that's left, you have super compromised your team. Yeah. So we getting ready to get into this watch party, man. This particular stream was brought to you again by BetUS, where you can receive 150% bonus on your first deposits and 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Make sure you use the promo code U2150. So can we win? Yeah. What do I want to see at this point? Your best back is Rico. Lean on him today. I don't think this is be a good game versus Atlanta to go out there throwing to that particular secondary where the best talent is. Somebody say Deuce is the insurance. Y'all so funny. My boy say Deuce is the insurance. Y'all funny, bro. Let's see, he put that laughing emoji because he know that's crazy. What we gonna need to win this game is we gonna need, honestly, Rico to have the best game of his life. We gonna need Rico to have a career game today. This is not gonna be a good game to put on the back of CeeDee Lamb and Dak. Not throwing into their secondary. Their front is weaker. This is a game that you also should want to slow it down. You want to try to keep their offense off rhythm. That's your best bet. Try to keep their offense off rhythm. And you have to try to protect your super depleted defense. The best way you got to do that is you got to run the ball. And if he get hurt, hey, these are the options that you did for yourself.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
I see y'all at the watch party.
Where your voice matters.
Love, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, The streets that taught me, but we're too bossy, We don't tread softly, but not flossy, The streets that taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the 2nd grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Niggas hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, grand to go, even when